ये बोला कुछ पढ़ा तो इसी पढ़ा तो मैंने एक्स्ट्रा होगा की देखो पढ़ने मंदिर तो ऊपर देखो आया मैंने कहा तो एक्स्ट्रा मेरे को आगे करना
A very good evening to one and all present here. I, Ashutosh Raj, extend a heartiest warm welcome on behalf of Cyber 3 RA to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Mahesh Kuawat, Mr. Arpit Yadav, Mr. Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay, sir, Mr. Divesh Raj, Dr. Vijay Gadicha, and Mr. Rishabh Dalia. I also extend a warm welcome to the CEO, Mr. Adarsh Kant, and dear friends. Cyber 3 RA is a tech startup that provides training and service on multiple IT domains, which has led us to on the fastest growing cyber and technology based community. We also provide best service like cyber crime investigation, data recovery, cyber forensic, cyber security consultancy, and many more with an active community of 25,000 members. So in short, we all want to know about cybersecurity is what want to make internet safe and secure. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the comment box in your YouTube control panel. We will bring them up the present and we will also have time for question and answer at each speaker. So now, without any further delay, we'll move on to Mr. Mahesh Kuawat. Mr. Mahesh Kuawat, sir, is currently working as Senior Security Consultant at Cyber 3 RA. Now I would request Mr. Mahesh Kuawat, sir, to take over.
Hello guys, this is Mahesh Kumawat and I'm a cybersecurity expert. And today I'm going to tell you that what is the scope of the cybersecurity in the future, and what if you are the new generations, then how are you going to make your career into the cybersecurity? And the other thing is, what is the requirement in this to going into the cybersecurity domain? So suppose you guys are working on a college or you have 12th pass or you would like to go for the cybersecurity career prospects. So I will tell you that you need to require some first of all knowledge about the networking things and your first of all passion about the cybersecurity. And the second thing is, if you're talking about some job prospects, so we have number of jobs available in the market. We have more than 2 million jobs in India, and we have more than 4 billion jobs in outside of India. So the career is, very secured. I can say that in cybersecurity, as far as concerned about that how much salary package and how you would like to go for the cybersecurity. So once because in India and outside the cybersecurity people are not too much fond in just because of always this type of demand in the industry of the cybersecurity people. So what you need, you require some different things like first of all you should be very good in operating systems in information knowledge, and second things you have some networking knowledge behind it. So how do you make your career into the cybersecurity? So first of all, you would like to go for some basic fundamentals need to be understand about the computer hardwares, computer networking, and computer operating systems basic informations. And if you are would like to go for some certifications, so I can provide some trainings and some different type of certifications. So as a fresher, you're going to start with your career with the networking plus and CompTIA plus, and you would like to go for the CEH certified ethical hacking things, and you would like to go for some CHFI later on, and then we have some management certifications like CISA, CSM, and CRSP. So we can say that it's a very vast domain of security, and if you would like to go for into the security, it's very demanding career and demanding security in the any companies. You know what? In India, there are so much cybersecurity demanded just because of the cyber crimes are increasing day by day. So I would like to recommend all the people which you are going to be fresher, or if you have 3 years and 5 years experience exposure on the IT, you should go for the security, and you can go to be start with your career with the cloud computing, and the cyber security is a very demanded things in the industries right now. So I can provide some sort of informations. We going to help you out in the career guidelines and number of things inside this. So the matter of fact that you guys need to, if you have passion about this, about security or the cloud security or application security, network security, and system security, so I can we are the right platform to provide you the help all those things. So cybersecurity, I can say that it's a very great domain right now, and it's very demanding domain and very secure jobs in the future as well. So if you are the freshers and then you would like to make your career into the cybersecurity, so you should have basic knowledge. If you don't have the basic knowledge, you can just go and join the Cyberera, okay, and just going to connect us. We will going to help you out how your career going to be working in the future, and then we will going to be provide the helps and support and provide some internship trainings on, or also we're going to provide some the books and everything, so that you are going to make some patience about the security and make your career. So I can, in the at the end, in the conclusions, I can say that the cybersecurity in the demanded industries right now, and number of jobs available in the market. And if you are fresher, and if you are at 3 years and 5 years or 6 years experience, and you would like to go for high package jobs, and you require some security on the job side, so the cyber security and the cloud security and application security, the number of things you will going to be go for it. And this is a very very I can say that it's very challenging job as well, as because you need to go for some VAPT, you have to go some forensic investigations sometimes, and you would like to find some analysis. So the prerequisites to join into this, you should be a very analytical mind first of all. The second thing, you should be a basic understanding about the IT industries right now, like hardware or software or networking things. And the third thing, you would like to make some take some certifications like certified ethical hacking, SAN certifications. We have some CSFI certifications. We have some CISA certifications, and number of things. So if you have good certifications, you have 3 years or years degree, full-time degree. If you have, and if you are passionate about the security, so it's the right platform for you to make your career into the cyber security. Because right now in the pandemic COVID-19 situations, you've seen that there are number of companies are hacked right now, and the cybersecurity people are more demanded in the industries currently, just because of they are going to be procure all those attacks, and as well as they are going to provide some security awareness trainings to the different people and society in the network. So I can, at the end, I can say that yes, it is. If you are passionate about the security, and if you are make your career, then it's your most welcome to join it in the cyber security things, and we will going to help you out each and everything like that. So thank you very much. So over to you, Rishabh. Ashutosh. Hello, Ashutosh. I have done from my end. Anything else?
Thank you, sir. We will go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the chat box in your control panel. It seems like we have few questions, sir. Sir, the first question is, while doing research on a particular career option, what basic things should I check?
Yes, so first of all, if you are a fresher, or if you would like to make your career in the cybersecurity domain, so first of all, things that if you have a full-time degree, or if you are, in the college pass out, so the basic requirement is basically how your knowledge about the computer hardware and networks. If you have knowledge, and then you have to make your career into the cybersecurity, and then you will take some certifications, then you will going to be hired in the companies, and then the experience will be coming. And once experience, certifications, knowledge, experience do you have, you will be, hired any companies.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now moving towards the second question, sir.
Okay.
What are the future prospects of cybersecurity in India?
Yes, if you're talking about the cybersecurity domain in India, so I can say I already suggest you in the meetings that we have more than 2 billions of jobs available in the market in cybersecurity. So in the Indian prospects, yes, companies are requiring those guys who have well experience and well exposure on the security side. So yeah, it's a very good options, very good career options, and very secure jobs prospects, and you will get good hires, good salary package as well into the security field of the jobs. So in India, yes, we the companies are required the people who are more experienced, exposure, security professionals. They have some knowledge about the penetration testing. They have some knowledge about networking. They have some knowledge about the cloud computing. The companies are not able to find it till now. So companies are still searching the the right people at the right job platforms.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we have few more questions from the audience. So
Yes,
the
please.
first question from Kalpit Das: which degree we have option after 12th?
Yes, if you have 12th pass out, then you will have to go for some professional courses of the security. Like you have to take some, you have options available. Like, go for some postgraduate diploma in information security, and you are also information that you will have to go for some certifications, or you have to go some diploma courses. So after 12th, you know what, if you want to make your career in the cybersecurity, you have options available to go for some diploma courses, go for some certifications like certified ethical hacking, and you will take some informations, you have to get some knowledge about the networking or hardware or networking sort of steps, and explore your security options in the future. Because all the companies are required of people who have some 3 years full-time degree. But some of the companies, the internship we will going to provide, it will after 12th you can going to be join us, and then they will going to provide different platforms to work on the security platforms.
Thank you, sir. So few questions are, we have more few questions from the audience. It is Rohit. Sir, I'm a fresher student in cybersecurity. So can you suggest some jobs?
Yes, we have multiple jobs, my dear. If you are a fresher in cybersecurity, so I will recommend that the companies are hiring those people who have some experience, exposure on the cybersecurity. The freshers are, the companies are not going to take some risk on the specific security domain, especially. So if you are fresher, then you have to, explore your knowledge first of all, take some certifications, and you will have to go some internship in any companies, and then you will get the hired in any companies.
Okay, sir. So one more last question because we are having some time limits. So how can we have how can we use cybersecurity for IoT device related to IoT?
Yes, IoT, Internet of Things, is we're talking about the security, it will be implemented everywhere. Suppose if you're talking about some CCTV cameras, biometrics, companies, risk management, or defense and depth models, and vulnerability assessment and penetration testings. So there are number of things. So every domain like artificial intelligence or IoT or machine learning, yeah, security is very important aspects. Because if you're writing a code in the code, we have some type of vulnerabilities you find it out. So then you will have to fix it. So the application security, the network security, cloud security, every security, anywhere you will find out in there in the same time. So the especially about the IoT. So in the IoT, what happened, because whatever the codes will be generated into the you have to develop. So we have the right code and no misconfigurations about the code, and in input validation sort of things. So these are some different type of cyber crimes will be happen. So how are you going to procure your Internet of Things? So security is a very important concerns about any companies or any technologies right now. So you have to deploy those things.
So before moving to our next speaker, can you suggest some certification for
Yes, yeah,
cybersecurity?
yes. So as per this, cybersecurity domain is a very vast domain. Okay, just because of in this cybersecurity domain, we have some risk management, we have some incident response plan, we have some business continuity plan, we have some disaster recovery plans, and then the multiple things, my dear friends. So security architecture, security engineering, security management, and if you talk about, we have some different type of domains. We have some red team, we have some blue team, we have some red team. So you know what, cybersecurity is very vast domains. So if you're talking about some certifications programs, you can start your career with CompTIA Plus certifications, and you can going to start with the networking plus certifications, and you want to start with the certified ethical hacking certifications. Okay, and you have to start with the CCNA security certifications. So these are some basic level certifications, and if you're talking about some advanced certifications, the medium level certifications, so CHFI certifications, you have to go for some LPT, license penetration tester certifications, computer hacking forensic investigation certifications. This is a medium size. And if you have 3 years and 5 years experience on the internal security, if you have work experience exposure, then you should go for some CISA, CISM, and CISSP. These are the certifications. Is more about managerial, less technical, and you would become some CTO, Chief Technical Officer, or CISO in the company after doing the certifications, advanced certifications. So as per your experience, as per your exposure, you have taken some different type of certifications. And more information, you just want to connect us. We will going to help you out for further certifications, further security goals, and career building sort of stuffs. And we will going to help you out each and every phase of your domain in the career.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, audience, we are having some time limit. If it possible, we will take your questions at the end of the session. So thank you, sir, for your precious time. So moving on to our next speaker, Mr. Arpit Yadav. He is an AI/ML researcher on TEDnord BRIU, as well as pursuing PhD in machine learning, PGP, IML, trainer in DS AI/ML, as well as speaker and a blogger. Now I would request Mr. Arpit Yadav to take over.
Okay, thank you very much. My voice is audible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my voice is clearly audible?
Yes, sir, it is clearly audible, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, all the participants. I welcome all of you on the career guidance session on the recent technology. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Adarsh for organizing such a wonderful webinar, so that all the participants, those who are having the aspirant to become one of the professional in one technology, so for that purpose, we people are guiding you. My name is Arpit Yadav. I am working as a research scientist in artificial intelligence and machine learning at Tensor BRIU, Hyderabad. I got the recently won award as an inspirational scientist award in artificial intelligence and machine learning. I am having the 3 patents in the world of artificial intelligence and machine learning. I am associated with many companies in India for providing the service in the artificial intelligence and machine learning domain. So first of all, I would like to say something to all the participants. Please ask 3 questions to yourself whenever you people are learning any technology in the world. So please ask 3 questions to yourself. That 3 questions are: what is this technology about? Second question is, why companies are using this technology? Why this technology is very famous? And the third question is, after upgrading the skills of that technology, what are the opportunities are waiting in the market? These 3 questions are very important, and respective speakers are talking about the recent technologies. So I am talking here about the world of data science and machine learning and AI. So that 3 questions will become like this: what is the world of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence? Second question is, why companies are using this technology? Why this technology is very famous nowadays? And the third question is, after upgrading the skills in this technology, what are the opportunities we will get in the company in the world of artificial intelligence? And I will be guiding all these 3 questions in the most efficient way. So always remember, participant, actually every day we people are surrounded by the world of data science, machine learning, and AI, intentionally and unintentionally. Every day you people are using the application of that technology. For example, Whenever you are purchasing any product from the e-commerce website, you are using machine learning and AI. Whenever you are uploading the photo in Facebook and Facebook is doing the automatic tagging of your image, machine learning and deep learning technology is used. Whenever you are using the Google speaker and you are saying something and it is get converted in the form of text, that you are using the machine learning and deep learning concept. So it indicate that intentionally and unintentionally, every day we people are using the application of the world of data science, machine learning and AI. Now the coming to the main portion, actually all over the world, every company is using the data science, machine learning and AI because of these so many applications. Every company is making the business from the world of data science and machine learning and AI. How? You have heard about the word of data science. What is data science? Data science is nothing but science of data to make a business. How? Every company is having the huge volume of data with them. So what company is doing with that data? Company is analyzing that data, visualizing that data and interpreting the data. Analyzing, visualizing and interpreting the data in the company is called as data analyst. So you will become a data analyst in the company first, because you are analyzing the data which is available in company databases, and after analyzing that data, hidden information will come out from that data. So that person, those who are finding the hidden information or analyzing of the data in the company, is a data analyst. Say then machine learning came into the picture in the company. Machine learning and deep learning is the world of algorithms. We people are applying the algorithm to the data which is available in company. After data pre-processing, that data is going to give the hidden information when you apply the algorithm. So machine learning is for predictive analysis we are using in company. Similarly, deep learning also predictive analysis. And finally, after learning the data science and machine learning and deep learning, then artificial intelligence came into picture. What is the meaning of artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is very simple. Artificial intelligence means we are making such a machine which behave like human. That is the objective of artificial intelligence. Because the artificial name itself, hiding in their name, artificial intelligence meaning is in the name only. How? Break the artificial intelligence into two parts, intelligence separate and artificial separate. So what we are doing, we are providing intelligence to the machine artificially. That's why it is called as artificial intelligence. Alexa is the artificial intelligence product. We people are enjoying the Alexa. We people enjoying the Apple Siri. We people are enjoying the Sophia robot. So these all are the artificial intelligence product where we have provided intelligence to the machine artificially. So this is the artificial intelligence. So the meaning of the question is that in the entire world, no company left now who is not using the artificial intelligence technology. So the condition came in such a way that every company in the world is using artificial intelligence, and the situation came such a way in the company also. Company is asking their employee to upgrade your knowledge in the artificial intelligence, because if you want to survive in the market. Every engineering college you will observe in future that the branches is coming as artificial intelligence, because of there is huge scope in the world of data science, machine learning, deep learning and AI. And what skills are required to learn this technology? Skills are, first of all, we have to learn any language, computer language. Okay, Python is very famous in the market. There are other language also, but I would like to suggest all the participants to learn the Python on the top priority. Python is the very dominant language in the industry because it is very easy to learn and there are many advantages. Second skills you have to learn is the data science. Data science means you want to learn those skills, how we are analyzing the data, visualizing the data and interpreting the data. That process in the company is called as data cleaning. After learning the data science you are doing with the help of Python language only in the company. After learning data science, you want to learn machine learning skills, algorithm knowledge, and in that you want to learn mathematics also. So overall world of machine learning, deep learning and AI is mathematics only. So you want to learn all algorithms in machine learning. Then again you want to learn all algorithm in deep learning. Deep learning is the world of neural network. After learning the neural network, you want to learn artificial intelligence and there are many libraries available in the Python language where we are learning machine learning, deep learning, and AI. So the thing is that you should have the skill set of Python language, mathematics knowledge, machine learning algorithm. There are many non-technical tool available in the market for visualization, that is Tableau and Power BI. You can use the Tableau and Power BI for the data visualization tool. And finally, if you are having the knowledge of cloud computing, for example, for deployment purpose, deployment, AWS, Microsoft Azure, or a Google Cloud Platform, then you people are the job ready. Company is asking these skills from the upcoming generation. And if you really want to learn this technology, so minimum to minimum 1 if you want to learn in quality way. And if you are a fresher, so you want to work more on the projects, internship, case study in order to upgrade your profile. And I am already giving my session across the world. Others know very well. I am giving my sessions across the world and I am guiding the participant in the most effective way. So always remember, participant, artificial intelligence is the future. Machine learning and deep learning is the part of artificial intelligence. Please upgrade your skills in the world of artificial intelligence, because nowadays, funny example I would like to give, artificial intelligence is a namak, we can say salt, namak. Until and unless we will not add artificial intelligence, that is namak, in the food, food will not have a taste. Similarly, if we will not add the artificial intelligence technology in any product nowadays, that product will not give a business. So artificial intelligence is used in every company, in every domain. You can apply artificial intelligence in cyber security also. You can apply artificial intelligence in networking also. You can apply artificial intelligence in automation industry, because they are making Google driverless car, Uber driverless car, Tesla driverless car. You can apply artificial intelligence in banking industry, chatbot. Whenever you are opening any website, one robot is chatting with you. That is called a chatbot. That is natural language processing. So there is infinite example I would like to give. So that's what I am saying, that you people are surrounded by the technology of data science, machine learning, and AI, and the technology which is surrounded our life. So there is a need to learn that technology in the compulsory way. So that's the small motivation talk I would like to give you for the artificial intelligence. I have given that. Now I am open for the question answer session. That is the interactive session where I can solve many doubts of the participant. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will now go ahead to take some questions from the audience. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the chat box. So the first question, sir.
Yeah.
What skill does the data scientist require?
Data scientist, yeah. See, as I told you, data scientist is the person in the company which is responsible for finding the hidden information from the data. So to become a data scientist in the company, you should have the strong knowledge of the Python language, mathematics knowledge, visualization. After that, you should have the strong algorithm knowledge. Whenever a data set is given to you, which type of algorithm you have to apply for that. Deployment tool, that is one of the cloud computing technology you should know. SQL, if you know, SQL is the optional. If SQL you are knowing, then it is well and good, because depending on company to company, they are asking that. If you are applying for startup, so they will ask the SQL knowledge also. If you are applying for MNC, big company, so SQL if you don't know also, then also it is okay. So the required skills are the knowledge of Python, the knowledge of data science library, that is in the data science library, 7 libraries are there for data manipulation. Then mathematics knowledge you should have. Then visualization tool, that is Tableau or Power BI you should have. And one of the cloud computing knowledge you should have. Then after that, you do so many projects, highlight your profile with the help of project, and then apply in the company. Then you can become a data scientist easily.
Thank you, sir. So moving towards the second question.
Yeah.
If I want to start learning data science, how should I begin it?
Okay, see, again I said, please note down, participant. 5 path I am going to give you 5 part for the artificial intelligence directly. First, learn the language Python. First, Python. Then data science. In the data science, there are 7 libraries which is made from Python language only. 7 libraries available. The name of that 7 libraries are NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Scikit-learn. Might be those who are fresher, might be you are not knowing this word which I am saying right now, and there are other participants those who are knowing what I am saying. So just remember, after learning the Python language, learn the 7 libraries of data science. After learning the 7 libraries of data science, learn the mathematics, because you are going to do the data pre-processing project, and in the data pre-processing project, mathematics also plays an important role. So first learn Python, then learn data science libraries, then learn the mathematics. Up to this portion, you can ready for data science. That means you can apply for the data analyst position in the company. After this data science, learn machine learning. Third category, learn machine learning. Machine learning is the algorithm world. After learning machine learning, learn deep learning. That is fourth. After learning the deep learning, learn AI. So this is the stepwise process I have given to you. Again, I am repeating. First learn Python, then learn data science libraries. After that, learn machine learning, then deep learning, then AI. These all are the sequence-wise ladder I have shared with you, so that if you follow this ladder, you will become a quality AI engineer in future. Just follow the roadmap always, because I have observed many participants in the world directly jumping to learn machine learning. Without knowing data science, no one can learn machine learning, because machine learning depend on data science.
Yes, sir. Definitely the audience will take your words. So moving few questions from the audience. It is Vinod Gogi. How can we process for AI? I am computer science first year student.
See, AI for the first year student. I would like to give first few examples to you people. That examples are, after my talk, please search in the Google about Tanmay Bakshi. Tanmay Bakshi. He is a 16-year-old boy, 16-year-old boy, and he is working as an AI researcher in the IBM company. Okay. So the situation is that either you are a first year student or a 12th standard student. Does not matter. Matter is that if you are learning this skill set in the schools also. Nowadays, for your kind information, all the participants, I would like to give you some information. Government of India has already started teaching AI to the school kids. They have made the syllabus, and they have started teaching school, that is international school kids, from the 6th standard. From 6 to 8, they are teaching Python, and from 8 to 10, they are teaching data science, and from the 10 to 12 student, they are teaching the machine learning and deep learning. So this is a psychological effect. Anyone can learn any technology at any age. Only learning attitude matters, and time and patience matters. So I would like to motivate all the participants. If you are in any branch, any year, please don't concentrate on your branch. Don't concentrate in which year you are. Just focus on learning attitude and focus on easy learning process of any recent technology. You will learn any technology.
Yes, sir. Sir, now the next question from Tony Stark. If I want to learn AI in cybersecurity, means first I should learn AI or cybersecurity.
First, you want to learn AI, because whenever you are applying AI in cybersecurity, so for artificial intelligence, cybersecurity is one domain. So you want to learn first AI. After learning AI, then you want to think that how I will going to apply this AI in the cybersecurity domain. So whenever you are learning AI, so you are having complete gist about AI technology, that how it is working. Then your creativity will start. That means you know already how AI is working. Then your creativity start that, yeah, cybersecurity is this domain. By applying certain techniques of AI on cybersecurity, we can achieve something. That means good result. So first of all, learn AI and then apply this AI to the cybersecurity domain and make the project. Similarly, if you want to apply AI in automation, First learn AI, then apply the AI in the automation industry to make some project. So that's what AI is very famous nowadays. Every company is learning first AI, and after that they are applying into the different domains. And with the combination of AI and that domain, products are making. That means Google driverless car, AI product. AI is there and the machinery is there. That's why Google driverless car. Sophia robot. First we are learning AI, then we are transferring that artificial intelligence to the machine. That means we are transferring intelligence to the machine artificially. So always remember, first learn AI and then learn the different domain.
Yes, sir. Moving towards sir, last question.
Yeah.
Sir, some audience are requesting you to tell some books on learning Python for beginners,
Okay.
data science, and machine learning, sir.
Books I cannot say right now because there are thousands of books in the market. But I would like to give you one suggestion of YouTube channel. If you are a beginner in this language, then please refer Naveen Reddy Python. Telesco is the name of that channel. YouTube Telesco. I am again repeating. Naveen Reddy YouTube channel named Telesco for Python. Go and learn the Python from that guy. He is teaching in the most effective way and the easy way. I can challenge you. Even the school students can also learn that Python from that guy. After that, for machine learning and deep learning, I would like to suggest to learn from Andrew Ng. He is the very famous scientist in the world who is teaching the machine learning and AI. Learn from that scientist. Although it will be tough because he is a scientist and he is teaching according to his knowledge. But if you are learning from the Andrew Ng, surely you will get very good knowledge in the world of machine learning and deep learning. And
Yes,
I
sir.
would
Thank
like
you.
to request all the participants become a smart student. Just go to internet sources. Just read every article, books, and blogs. Gather the knowledge from multiple resources, and then you will be becoming a very knowledgeable person. Don't depend on only single source.
Thank you, sir. It seems like we have covered all our questions, sir. Thank you once again for your valuable time, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, moving to the further speaker, I would like to conduct a short quiz for our lovely audience. So, the question is, who is the founder of Google? I repeat, who is the founder of Google? Please type your answer in the chat box. It seems like our audience are not that much energetic. So I will be telling the answer. The answer is Larry Page. Yeah. I got few answers. Wait. I got first answer from Simran. It's Larry Page and Jasri Baring. Okay, thank you, audience, for your answer. Now moving towards our next speaker, Mr. Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay. He is data scientist, TEDx speaker, and author, an Intel software innovator, and currently working as Google developer expert in machine learning. Now I request Mr. Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay sir to take over.
So good evening to all of you. Am I audible to all of you? So can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay, fine. So today's topic is on all about the career developments. So basically, I want to highlight few emerging topics where students should focus on basically. So starting from the undergraduate courses, those students who have passed 10+2 level at this time. So you all are quite aware that if you are going for the engineering, a lot of opportunities are there for the computer science engineers. Electronics and communication engineering is a very good stream, definitely, but you can also look after the few advanced computer science engineering courses different universities are providing. For example, BTech in data science, machine learning, and cyber security. MTech in data science, machine learning, and cyber security. Several universities are launching a specialization course on BTech program regarding to promote the data science right from the beginning. So in that courses, in the first year, definitely you will learn the basic aspects of the normal computer science courses like data structure, basic hands-on programming on C and all those things. But gradually, gradually via learning Python or R, you will gradually move forward towards the data science domain, where you will learn more about the time series analytics, more about the machine learning and deep learning gradually. So these are the courses are emerging. Even in the cyber security, there are BTech courses. Few universities are providing BSc courses. So there are two parallel courses. One is the BTech and another one is the BSc courses in data science, MSc courses in data science and data analytics. So just look after them. UG and PG courses, there are a lot of fantastic initiatives has been taken by several universities. So do not always focus on the traditional courses, but always be aware about the advanced courses which are taking place in the market, because you see in the industry 4.0 era, whatever the jobs are giving is at the end of the day, it's a data driven world, and you see the every day the digital world is getting double. So there is exponential growth you can see. So by 2035, you can expect that whatever the processor power we have in our hand, for example, even in the supercomputer will saturate. The performance of the supercomputer will saturate, and that's why people are nowadays going for the quantum computations, quantum computers. A lot of researchers are working even in the evaluating the quantum machine learning, quantum deep learning field. And you might have heard the concepts like even quantum internet as well. They are basically taking the benefits of the entanglement property of the quantum computers. And you know, in the classical we have 0 and 1 bit, but in quantum, apart from the 0 and 1, you can have a lot of, due to the superposition of the different qubits, you can generate several number of the intermediate qubits, and that's at the benefits. Okay, so these are the one of the fields which are emerging. If somebody is going to study in the domain of physics or even in the theoretical computer science or computer science, quantum computing will play a pivotal role. And those who are interested even in the research areas, or even you want to study the quantum, you have a huge potential or a huge wide area open for you to contribute in the quantum machine learning, quantum deep learning domain. And those who are basically work in the field of theoretical computer science, those guys are really contributing significantly in the quantum machine learning and quantum deep learning era. So these are the ways. First of all, I started with the UG and PG courses. I have focused on the people who wants to pursue the engineering or even in the BSc or MSc courses. So I told you about there are courses like data science, data analytics, cyber security. You can acquire the BTech degree as well as you can acquire the BSc, MSc degrees. Just go through the different universities. For example, I can talk about one of the West Bengal's, one of the eminent university, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University, MAKAUT, which was previously known as West Bengal University of Technology. They are providing new courses. And obviously, there are IIITs who are on, for example, IIIT Bangalore. They have also have opted for the new advanced courses on the data science. So the lot of universities who they are going for the new courses in order to give you the opportunities, because job markets are widening up. And for example, let me share with you a simple real life scenario. 2014, people who are working in the IT sectors, they are aware of the one tool named business process automation. So 2018, that business process automation has been shifted to robotic process automation. So example of the robotic process automation is, if you want to send 6,000 email per day, 20,000 email per day, even if you work for 24 hours, it is not possible for a human being to send 20,000 email per day. Rigorous Excel sheet works where the human error are quite prominent. these type of works are being automated through software robot. These robots are not humanoid, but the software robots. So Tata Consultancy Service (TCS) in 2018, they got the project from the abroad, mostly from the Japan, to deploy the robotic process automation in Indian market and resolve these challenges which are emerging in the market. But they require 3 lakhs people. But when they check out about the skill, they only found 250 people in India who have the expertise on the robotic process automation. So you can understand the jobs are available, but people do not have enough knowledge about the advanced technologies. Look at the demand of 3 lakh, only 250 people know. Just imagine the huge gap. According to the report by The Hindu in 2021, by 2021, more 2 lakh jobs will be there in the robotic process automation. So you can see there is a huge gap between academics and industrial knowledges, and that's why government is taking a lot of initiatives to bring the industry experts in the interactions with the academic, and a lot of industry academic meetups are going on in several institutes, and even the communities, like for example this cyber era community or different other Facebook developer circle, Google developer community. Everybody is focusing on to make how to make their community strong by bringing up several industry expert, academic expert, such that they can share their precious knowledge with you and make you enlightened about what are the new technologies and challenges are coming up in the market. Are you getting my point? Even in 2025, the robotic process automation will be mostly dependent upon the AI, and the name will be intelligence process automation. So in every 4 to 5 year in average, the skill setups are changing. For example, if you are working in a particular domain, you have to be updated about what are the upcoming things are coming in your domain, what are the new research areas, what are the new emerging areas are coming up. For example, if you are working in the software industry or IT industry, you have to be updated about what is going on in your domain. Do not depend always upon your company that they will provide you all the time the training and development resources. You yourself have to evolve yourself. There are a lot of interesting courses are available in Coursera, in DataCamp. Go through there, just pursue those courses. Even in our government website, NPTEL, a lot of eminent ISC, IIT professors, they have also given several lectures on those courses. So whatever your passion, stay updated, update yourself. And along with that, I have already talked about the technology and science part. What are the new courses are coming up? Also, I want to mention one important thing relevant to data science and data analytics, that even in management people, there are a lot of emphasis are being given in data sciences. If you check the Symbiosis, for example, Symbiosis Center of Information Technology, Pune, they have also launched one fantastic course, MBA program on data science. Even in a lot of universities, even in West Bengal or outside of the West Bengal, there are several universities are launching new courses. For example, business analytics is one of the emerging area. Even in the COVID scenario, as per the statistics, a lot of universities have showcased the report that students have responded very much in terms of the enrolling in the BBA program of the business analytics, BBA program in the data analytics. So you can see even in the management domain, not only about the computer science or engineering or the only science domain, even in the management domain, the craze on data science, data analytics is huge. And because you see that we are storing data digitally, so we have to analyze them, and in order to analyze them, we need to understand the several technologies, tools which are available in the market. So it may be the data related to technology or science domain, it may be the data related to management domain. So according to the domain that we have given different degree, we have renamed different degrees. We are calling it BE or BTech, BBA, MBA, BCA, BSc. So this is just a name of the degree, but the goal is remaining same, that to teach, to enrich the community towards the new technology, science, and management aspects. So according to your interest, as per whatever you want to pursue in your career, you just try to drive your career on that particular directions. So for example, you see, I have talked about the BBA courses. Even in MBA courses, you see a lot of demands. We can see people from the industry, they are coming coming back to the academics to pursue their MBA degree. And even all the IIMs, SPGIM, or SPG Institute of Management Research, by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, or even in other prominent or top premier institutes in India and even in abroad. You can see there are several courses are being launched on MBA program in data science, data analytics, MBA program in business analytics. So you can see the craze, and along with that, even management people are also taking training on IoT, Internet of Things. It's not only about the engineering people are taking. Management people are also taking special training on IoTs. So the knowledge is nowadays is not, there is no boundary. You can't classify knowledge in terms of the degree basis. It's a ubiquitous. If you are passionate enough, if you want to pursue a high quality job, if you want to stay updated with the industry, current industry trend, you always have to check up with the what are the new things are coming in the market. And nowadays ample amount of the resources are available. You can follow the experts YouTube channel. You can read the blogs. You can check out the different ebooks, and like I mentioned about the courses like NPTEL, Coursera, DataCamp, Udacity courses, Udemy. Everybody is coming up with certain interesting courses. So according to whatever the platform you feel comfortable yourself, just go there, just enrich yourself. Okay, that's all what I mean to say. Remember that you have to work hard, but in a smart manner, in order to sustain yourself in the current dynamic world. Because remember, because of the data driven field, data driven approach in all the field, the clerical job will be demolished. So the more you make yourself updated with the IT stuffs, IT things, whether it is science domain, whether it is engineering, whether it is management domain, it doesn't matter. You will be able to sustain in the market. That's it. And obviously, right, definitely gradually, once you start your career with UG or PG courses, remember that you have to think that there are several ways nowadays. Either you can go pursue your career in industry orientation. Otherwise, you can go to pursue your career in academic direction. If you go to academics, be serious about research. Because in academics, your every evaluation will be done on the basis of your research contribution. So PhD is mandatory. So do not ignore that. If you go to the entrepreneurship domain now, Government of India DST is taking a lot of initiatives. Go to the website of the DST. Just check what are the new opportunities coming up in terms of the entrepreneurship. But one thing, always remember that stay updated with the new technologies and new methodologies, because that is the weapon which will help you to sustain in your career. Wish you all the best of luck, and I am thankful to your community team for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to interact and talk with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. We'll now head towards the questions. Again,
Sure.
be ready for the questions and
Please let me know.
fill your chat box. We have a question, sir. Tell us something about the working environment of Google.
Well, so basically, look, I am the Google developer expert in machine learning. So I am not I cannot be considered as the full-time employee of the Google. But the thing is that in generally in India, if I say there is a lot of ample opportunities are coming up, because nowadays Google last year September they have made their setup on AI. So a lot of exciting projects on AI in the AI are coming up. AI projects are coming up by Google. So if you are interested enough, you can drop your CV by going to their website. There are a lot of internship opportunities are available. Also, if you are a good expert enough, because nowadays industry people are hiring PhDs basically for the AI machine learning jobs in Google. But the thing is that even in India, earlier days, what is happening? It was only management. Even if you talk about Facebook or Google, mainly you can see the management people are mainly getting the chances. Okay, not much explorations about the technology were available earlier days, but nowadays Google has taken India very, very seriously, and their AI lab is doing fantastic new emerging projects on the emerging technologies. So what you will have a very good experience with the world by collaborating, work with the world's topmost brain. And obviously the there are several branches. For example, in the, if you talk about the head office in US, definitely they are doing amazing stuffs, not only about the classical machine learning, deep learning environment. If you see in the quantum machine learning, the era I was talking about, the quantum machine learning, quantum deep learning is completely evolving with Google and in collaboration with MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So you must have heard that even in edge computing nowadays, what we call that as the replacement of cloud, such that if you want to do the computation in your low processor power devices like mobile phone, Tensor, we all are aware about the TensorFlow, right? That is a machine learning and deep learning framework. Even in low processor power devices, they have come up with the TensorFlow Lite. They have come up with the TensorFlow Quantum for advancing the quantum machine learning era. So their top mind people are there in Google who are working for the betterment of the techno management world. And if you interested for your making your career in industry orientation, you should go for the apply for the internships and as well as try for the job in Google. You will come to see how the world's topmost brain are thinking, that the way they are thinking, the way they are making their action plans. And it will be a wonderful opportunity for all of you to learn and explore your career.
So, second question, sir. Can you tell us some books to our lovely audience on data science and analytics?
Definitely. Please take a note. Look, nowadays lot of platforms are available, but as you particularly asked me about the books, data analytics using R by Seema Acharya, McGraw-Hill publication. Data analytics using R by Seema Acharya, McGraw-Hill publications. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So the next question is
just a second, and one more book. Just take a note. Scott Murray, SCOTT, Scott Murray, Interactive Data Visualization for the Web. This is for the data visualization purpose. Interactive data visualization for the web. Okay, and the last one I want to mention, that is for your Python purpose. If you want to have a good experience on the Python, this book will help you a lot. Programming in Python by Dr. Pooja Sharma. This is under the BPB publications. Okay, Programming in Python by Dr. Pooja Sharma. This is for the BPB publications. Okay, if you go through these books, this will be quite helpful for you. Okay, please ask me next question.
Yeah. Yes, sorry for the interruption in between. So the audience is asking. So the audience is asking,
Yes.
tell them the sites from where they can get the latest updates on this. Any sites?
Okay, so look. Okay. So look, follow the Medium article of Medium, MEDIUM. Follow the articles of Medium, where you will see lot of nowadays who are basically the thinker, developer, and technologist. World's top eminent thinkers and developers are writing the blogs in Medium. Whether it is on the advanced topic of the deep learning, whether it is on the entrepreneurs, you will get every details about it. And do not forget to like and follow the Your Story page, because in the Your Story, the thing is that you will come to know about the emerging startups who are doing fantastically well, whether it is in India and abroad. You will come to know every details of them. What are the way the now current days business leaders, youngsters are thinking, how they are coming up and with the new product prototypes, and how they are building their products. Okay, and one thing I should mention, that along with these books, already my earlier speaker has mentioned about the Andrew Ng. Definitely follow Andrew Ng's materials on machine learning and deep learning, because he has explained the deep learning in a very lucid way, and that is important. When somebody is beginner, he or she should follow Andrew Ng. And before going to that, try to brush up your skill in linear algebra, especially the matrix, vector and matrix section. eigenvalue, eigenvector conception, because if you are applying for data science scientist position in industry, what happens? People will ask you always two basic questions. They will ask you what is eigenvalue, what is eigenvector, then principal component analysis. What is principal component analysis, which is based upon these eigenvalue and eigenvector concepts. So basics are always important. Before going to advanced courses, try to learn the basics very clearly. Rest of the things will be done automatically. Okay, please ask the next question.
Yes, sir. So the audience is asking how to gain knowledge about the programming language.
Okay, so gaining the programming language knowledge, first remember one thing, that you try to be strong in data structure. So there are a lot of online lectures in YouTube are available in data structure. So follow them, because to be strong in programming language, concept and algorithm, understanding of the algorithm is very important. I am giving you a simple example. It helps you in every step of life. Even if you are going to data science, it will also help you there. Because accuracy, we talk about in data science, AI, ML, we talk about the prediction accuracy, but it's not only about the accuracy. It is also about the about your understanding in the concept of the time complexity. Okay, so the more you can reduce the time complexity, it will be better for you to run the programs in the low power processor. I'm giving you simple one example why data structure is very important. For example, if you have n by n images, you are processing it with the for loop. So you have to run the code in nested for loop. So here the order of complexity will be order of n square. But for example, if you have in first row ABC and second row DEF, okay. Now what else? If we can unfold it. For example, in the first row ABC, we are concatenating DEF of the second row to either in horizontal direction or in the vertical direction. We are unfolding it. So it is becoming like ABC DEF. So what is the scenario now? What is the order of complexity now? The order of complexity now reduced to order of n square to order of n. So this is the trick of vectorization. And this vectorization is one of the integral part in linear algebra. See how things are connected each other. Here you can see the concept of linear algebra is connected with the concept of the basic algorithm formation, time complexity in the your data structure. So in this way, you come to know, you understand that how you can reduce the time complexities. And nowadays, people who are doing their research in edge computing, for everybody is using that. So to whenever you are beginning your computer programming, first of all, try to learn the basics of data structure. What is time complexity? How to deal with the loops? How we can reduce the time complexity? How to enhance the time complexity? So learn in both ways. So then gradually what you do, you choose any long languages. For example, if you want to start with the procedure oriented languages, you can start with programming in C. Okay, if you want to start with the little bit of C++ is not a pure object oriented language, but you can also start with C++ as well. So there is not much difference between C and C++. There are few syntax wise differences are there. So gradually start with them, then learn Java. Okay, and meanwhile please continue with Python as well. So what happens, there is so much popularity in Java and Python? Because you see, Java and Python both are the cloud communicator language. Because nowadays it's a common thing that we store data in cloud, we analyze them. So in order to communicate with cloud, Java and Python are the cloud communicator. And why Python is so much popular? Because all the machine learning and deep learning frameworks we talk about, whether it is Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch. Okay, Keras and TensorFlow is mostly developed by Google. In the PyTorch, the significant contribution has been made by Facebook and Uber. So all those platforms are the Pythonic. So remember, either you start with C or C++, then go to Java, and meanwhile, please make yourself strong enough in Python. But if you are want to focus on the data science or data analytics domain only, then along with Python, learn R. Okay, this is the thing. But do not ignore ever, if you want to be a good coder, if you want to be a good programmer, data structure is the main thing, whether it is linear data structure as well as non-linear data structure, where you will learn tree and all those things. Please ask the next question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So as we have got time limit, sir, we will move into the next speaker, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving a valuable time and a precious time
Thank you very much for inviting me. And my contact details are available with organizers. If any student requires any help, directly contact me. Okay, take care.
Yes,
Bye.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So moving to over that Mr. Devesh Raj, he is a map analytics at Google. Now I request Mr. Devesh Raj to take over.
Good evening. I am audible.
Yes, 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 sir. You are audible.
Okay. So first of all, good evening to all, uh, and thank you for inviting me for the career guidance for the all students. And so let's talk about the particular, just like a Sabyasachi sir already told many things for the career guidance, just like programming and developers things, software engineering. So now I'm here for the discussing something about the career guidance. Basically, there are some beginner students, just like freshers, some first year student and second year student. They are also want to join software engineering, some MNCs and some big companies, and also want to try to get internships. So basically, let's talk about that question, and we can easily answer your questions. Okay. Others, I
Yes.
question, then I can answer
Okay.
like a Q&A sessions. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir. Let's have some question answer session. So I request the audience to give ask the questions to our Devesh sir. So
Yes.
that's the first question, sir.
Your voice is little
Devesh
bit
sir,
cracking.
Devesh sir, which programming language is essential for this analyst role?
Uh, for the analyst role, the basically that's not the programming language, but analytical is some of the term that's like a data analytical. Just like you want to join as a developer, some like a cloud developers, as like just like a cloud developer, and some we are working at the Google Cloud Platform, and Google Cloud Platform is there are lots of things like platters and just learn some fundamental things, and basically only ask for the question, just like a MI, AI languages, artificial intelligence and ML, and machine learning. Just if you want to go for the machine learning things are totally basically on the CS fundamentals. So for the basic languages, just like a C, for the object-oriented languages, C++, Java, and go for the Python. But whatever you want to learn and whatever you want to go for the things, and here are some examples just like a Dart and some React.js and Node.js. So it depends on the particular curious thing on the student what they exactly want to learn.
Yes, sir. So moving toward the next question, sir. Sir, can you share your journey to the Google? How
Okay.
you are?
Actually, this is a totally a similar question. Most of the which language they ask for the AI based company. Okay, for the first I'm going to share my journey. Actually, I am belong tier 2 cities, but actually I have done a graduation from Indira Gandhi National Open University, and I have completed my BCA and MCA. And I'm not a BTech student, but actually I have completed MCA. There's a Master Computer in Applications, and then after that I'll working as a freelance work for like a math work. Then I'll join the internship as a Java developer in Google in 2017. So after that, joining the internship, I have learned a lot of things, just like a map working and some like developing. And after that, the Java moved, and the Google clearly moved to the Kotlin languages. And now I'm working at the Kotlin. So beginner developers. And so please tell about. I have questions. Okay, so The journey is okay, but actually students are asking for how did you get the इस तरीके से जर्नी रहे तो
It seems like we are having some technical issue. So wait till the
and
technical
languages
issue
के
to be
transform
resolved. We will be moving
transformation के
towards.
साथ साथ
Hello,
में
Divesh sir.
वो चीज क्लियरली देखते हैं
Hello, Divesh sir.
that my
Sir,
video
your audio is lagging, sir. Sir, your audio is lagging, sir.
now okay.
Okay, due to some technical issue, we are unable to join Divesh sir. So moving towards our next speaker, who is Dr. Vijay Gadicha. He has completed his PhD in computer science and engineering. Also have 16 years of experience in his domain. He has presented as well as published more than 75 papers in national and international conference and journals. He has also published a patent on various technologies. Now I request Dr. Vijay Gadicha sir to take over.
Thank you. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Look, I have 5 patents, 5 from Indian Patent Authority, and 3 of my patents are on WIPO, World Intellectual Property Rights. Well, there are some questions in concerning to programming and artificial intelligence. Am I supposed to solve? Am I supposed to address them?
So if you
Yes.
wish, you can address them also, sir. If you wish, you can address
Yeah,
them
I'm a
also.
guy from computer background, so yeah. So I seen that, and I was curious to solve those queries of students. Somebody's written that can you tell me something about data science, and AI and ML? Look, fundamentally, when you talk about artificial intelligence, let's crack the ice of AI. Artificial intelligence is about giving the brain to the machine. That means fundamentally what happens if you talk about the processing power of a computer has gigantic processing power, huge processing power. And above that, now computers are available in dual core, quadra core, octa core, and number of cores are there. But now the trouble is, even if it is having tremendously high speedy processing power, but it doesn't have decision making. So if we want to take an opinion, or if we want to take some valid input from computer, then it doesn't have its own brain. So what we need to do is that by using some model of the other, we need to train that computer so that it will start providing decisions or some sort of inputs. And that is the domain where you can go and touch artificial intelligence. There are a number of algorithms. And just insight to the artificial intelligence, if you can explore, you will get the field called machine learning. Now, in the field of machine learning, what happens, it's so very interesting. As if like we humans used to learn from the experiences, feelings, or some general life happenings, machines also learn from the experiences or the data storage into them. And subsequently, they start producing the result, they start producing the outcomes, they start producing the throughput, which you require to utilize into the further applications. And again, machine learning having 2 broad categories into them. The first is supervised learning. Supervised learning means there is some learning model, and that learning model consistently guides you that how to put up the data into the machine and subsequently gives you the results. So if some supervisor is available sort of in the real life, we can say, if that sort of hierarchy you're following into the machine learning, then you're following supervised learning. And in case of unsupervised learning, where you're predicting the things, when there is no guide as such available to you that how the data will be stored and then subsequently will be processed or extracted, as if like we don't have any supervisor in our colleges and we have to learn at our own self from the books. So that sort of learning which is there in machines is unsupervised learning. So these are the two big categories. And under each of the categories, there are a number of algorithms. But the famous algorithms under supervised learning is clustering, and for unsupervised learning is, for supervised learning, it is classification, and for unsupervised learning, it is clustering. Okay. Then about ML, after ML comes DL, which is deep learning. Now, deep learning, it's evolution of ML. Okay. And deep learning has more middle layers in feature extraction or recognition of the data or pattern recognition, etc., etc. It is to be said that if you keep on, train the system in ML up to certain level, it will provide you bright results, but after certain level, it will saturate. But in case of DL, deep learning, if you can keep on training the system, it will keep on providing the brighter results. And as the age of the system grows and the training phase grows, it will provide you more brighter result, more enhanced result, more handsome results. So the future of the decision making from computer is DL, which is deep learning. So this is all the discussion which have been I was interested in. Is there any question concerning to the technology or programming? Otherwise, I will start my own topic of discussion.
Sir, we will take after your presentation, sir.
Fine. Okay. Okay. So let me go to my presentation. Can you please guide me, because I am using this app first time?
So there is a share screen option. You press it, and I will give you the access code.
Yeah, I clicked it.
So click on the presentation what you want to present, like PPT or entire desktop. You have to select it. Then you have to select share. So you have to select a window like if you want to show entire screen. Yes, sir, yes. I got it, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on. But my presentation, okay, just a minute. Okay, just a minute. Now, please tell me, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, I suspect all you people are from engineering background, but then if somebody is from some other background, please let me know about the same. Or if somebody is already past 10th or 12th SSC, HSC, and they want to pursue in their career, so they can ask the question. But then so far, I restricted my discussion today is about the career opportunities after BE BTech. Or otherwise, if you want to discuss anything after the session, we can have a dialogue. There is no problem. We can discuss about that. So here I'm going to talk about these several things: how to plan your career, what to prepare actually, and then how to discover what are the opportunities in front of you, and how to determine your interest that okay, you are the buddy of this zone or that ocean. So what actually to prepare for an engineer if you want to get recruited in some good company, maybe a software based company or any other mod company. So what minimal things should be there in your persona? You should be having good quantitative aptitude. Now it is, but obviously that each and every company expects quantitative aptitude from you people, and you used to prepare for that as well. but surprisingly, none of the TNP officer or none of the recruiting officers will tell you that why they require aptitude. Look, aptitude is required to recognize that you will have quantifiable solutions to the problem, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, suppose if you're working in software field or other any of the other field of the engineering, it is so very evident that you need to be quantifiable while providing solution. As if, like, for let's say you are an electrical engineer and you have to establish a grid, then you need to talk about quantities, that how much megawatts that grid will generate, how much will be distributed, what will be the HR required, what will be the infrastructure required, what will be the investments required, all the things. So while doing those things for an industry or for a company, what you need to do is that we need to get accustomed with the quantities, and to play with the quantities they need to check that yes, this body is really carries some brain to play with the quantities. That's why quantitative aptitude is so very needful to you people. Then second is problem solving, which is very important. Maybe puzzles you can solve, or some of the problems of clocks, etc., etc., they are available. Again, why problem solving characteristic is required in a student? Because company wants that my recruit, my trainee, my junior engineer shall solve the problem, cannot create the problem for me to keep him into the company or not. So this is what the attitude of the companies used to be when they ask you that, okay, these are the puzzles you can solve, or these are the difficult complex problems we can solve and give the answer. The only intention of the recruiting company is that whether you are having caliber and persona of solving the complicated problems or not. And another most important thing which you should have in the general skill is that you should have a communication skill. So when I say communication skill, that means you can at least percolate the message, you can pass the message which you want to say. Many a times what you need to do is that you need to interview your client, you need to take out the requirements, and then have to convey the client that what actually will be technically feasible, and have to generate a win-win situation, so that client will get satisfactory answer, and that is feasible for you as well, technically as well as financially. So for that implementation you require communication skill. And obviously in generalized skill you should be having technical skills. What I mean from technical skill, look, technical skills vary from branch to branch. I am going to give you the details of every branch over here. Okay, so let me converge towards the technical skills further. And these are various websites which are I jot down, which are government and private websites. If you want, you can take the picture of this. These many websites are there which can give you the internship or training, which are very, very needful parallel to your branch or domain. Okay, so let us come back to the discussion of technical expertise or technical skills which you should possess. So let's start with the mechanical engineering branch. Look, in mechanical engineering, where you can have the certification, and it is in demand now in the industry. The fields are like robotics, hugely demanded, mechatronics, HVAC is there. AutoCAD, always in demand. You can learn CATIA and get the certification. Studio Max, CAM CNC, then Hypermesh is there. ANSYS is there. Unigraphics is there. Piping stress analysis is so very important when it comes to piping engineering, and tool designing. So these are the various fields where you can get certification, especially recognized certification, and then you can easily get recruited in good mechanical industries which are available in India and abroad. Now, these similar sort of things, like let's talk about civil engineering students. They can get certified on CAD/CAM, StatPro, Workforce, or Structural Design. Again, these are very famous domains where you can obtain certification and be a candidate to be get recruited by good companies. If you can talk about electronics, you can always get certifications from MATLAB, VLSI, Embedded, another renowned branch, renowned domain. You can have a certification in PLC, SCADA, nanotechnology. You can have an NPTEL certification from nanotechnology, and there are several certifications in image and video processing, which is I highlighted over here. You just go and get certified from these recognized bodies or in recognized domains, so that you will be a trained HR. In case of computer science and information technology or software related branches, these are multiple certifications which are written over here, specifically from Microsoft, Cisco, Red Hat, various recognized companies, and there are certification from open source as well, like OCJP, OCA, PHP, Ajax, HTML, CCCP, C Sharp, etc. So these are various certifications which are there in markets available and in demand which companies require. Yes. What are the futuristic perspectives if you want to continue your education in case of CSE IT? Look, you can always do your MTech in these many branches of computer science and engineering. Then there is advanced IT and networking, software engineering, artificial intelligence, very hot branch nowadays. I recommend you people that you can go and do your PG if you want to do in artificial intelligence. Even bioinformatics tremendously in requirement, especially in the era of COVID-19. People are searching for bioinformatic peoples to automate their systems. Even if you want to go to the management, once you're done technology, and if you want to go to management, these are the number of branches and fields which are open to you. I suspect and recommend you people to go for MBA in system management. If you are a computer engineer, you can go for system management. You will get a huge sort of avenues and future into these branches. If you are an electronics engineer, if you want to do your further education, then these are multiple branches you can go for, where aerospace is there, electronic engineering is there, laser technology is there, control system very much in demand nowadays, nanotechnology is there, solar and alternative energy technologies even funded by government. And then there are a number of other engineering branches are there. Also the window of MBA is open for you. But again, I will suggest you people that if you are a electronic guy, then please try and do MBA in telecom management sort of things. If you are in mechanical, then for mechanical I suggest you people for go for these are many technical branches which are available. And the thermal is one of the branch which is in huge demand. Mechatronics is another one which is in huge demand. And then for MBA was as well, the window is open for mechanical guys, no problem. If you are a chemical engineer, these are various branches which are open for you. The most famous ones are biotechnology, then textile engineering, and fuel engineering. So these are some of the very famous branches where you can process for intake. And also in MBA, there are a number of avenues which are open for you people. For civil engineering, structural is a very famous branch. Transportation is another one which is very famous. And then now you are having geophysics, architecture, and design, where remote sensing can be worked out. So these are various branches. After BTech, you can go for MTech in civil, and also MBA's door will be open if you want to survive or flourish your career in MBA. Now let's come to the important thing. If you are interested in working for government sectors, especially administrative services, now in Indian administrative services, Indian engineering services, you are having this sort of pattern, and these services are focused on core branches, right? There is minimal recruitment as far as CSE, IT, and electronics is concerned. But if you are a guy from core branches, then these avenues are open for you people. It will be having general aptitude test ability, checking with you people, and then paper 2 and paper 3 are objective type papers, which are of 200 marks and your subject knowledge. And then essay writing is there, like descriptive answers, which are there in paper 4 and paper 5, and there is a personal interview. Now, clubbing them all, your shortlisting will be done, and then you will be deputed on various other posts which are there all across India. Now, this is more tougher one and more generalized one. Indian administrative services, again, there are prelims which are there, and there are subsequent papers which are given over here, paper 1, paper 2, for language, etc. If you are interested in administrative services, because nowadays, if you can see, there are a number of engineers which are converging towards, IAS, IPS, and they are joining their post according to their abilities of problem solving. So I recommend you people to go through this presentation. Maybe you can take a photograph of it, and then you can pursue your career in this particular branch of government. And there are parallel recruitments into the defense as well, Navy, Army, as well as Air Force used to make a recruitment. But then Navy and Army are the very famous recruiters for engineering students. TGS is one of the technical graduation scheme which is there, along with UES. And for Navy, there are a number of schemes you can simply go to the site of Navy, and then you will be obtaining number of avenues. SSB is so very famous avenue for all the engineers to give the interview and get selected as lieutenant. And this is how the process used to get conducted: day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. So these are various things which are quoted over there, and the time to time they used to check, they used to change this curriculum of selection. But whatever I got latest, I have presented in front of you, and these all are the skill sets which are required by you people while you're appearing for SSB interviews. If you want to pursue higher education from foreign countries or from universities, if you want to pursue in management, then you have to appear for GMAT or CMAT sometime, and then GRE for the graduate record examination to pursue MS. After the technical degree, if you want to pursue Master of Science in foreign universities, you have to appear for GRE. And then ELITES and TOEFL again is a compulsory test which you have to appear for the English inability proof. So this is what broad consideration I want to convey to you. It's actually not possible in 20 minutes time to share everything after the D, but then I think I have given a broader picture to you people that what is there in front of you in the future consideration. And especially the candidates which are just 12 pass and want to pursue their career in various the branches. So for that one, I will suggest to people that after 12th, as far as professional curriculum is concerned, we are having two main disciplines: the technology discipline and pharma discipline. In technology discipline, you are having engineering, BSc, and then BCA sort of courses. And in pharma, you are having number of courses right from MBBS, pharma, D-pharma is there. You can also go for BBA sort of things. So these are multiple avenues which are available to you. But I'm interested if there are some queries specific to individuals, then I will solve them. Thank you very much from my side. This was my presentation.
Thank you, sir. It's time for sub question answer. Sir, the first question, sir. What are the so what would help me creating network to acquire best career?
Look, it's always important. I mean, when you talk about network to a specific area, say like maybe like if you want to pursue for your recruitment, say like company recruitment, and if you have a good network for already employees which are working in good companies, so they can always guide you about the recruitment process, or where actually recruitment is going, what will be the pattern of selection, what sort of questions will be asked, maybe where the campus is going to be held, what will be the minimum eligibility, what sort of skill sets you can acquire. So if this handy information is already incubated by you, already inquired by you, then you become ready-made material to be get recruited. Otherwise you may get surprised by the company about the way they are going to get the way they are going to conduct the process of recruitment. So if you don't want that the process of recruitment gets surprised, it's always handy to have network. This is about recruitment. But if you want to even proceed for PG programs, and if you have a strong recruitment, they will tell you how the entrance exams used to be get conducted, what sort of questions will be there in entrance examinations, what sort of preparation should be there, how you will get the material, etc., etc. So obviously establishing network will help you in a great deal.
Yes, sir. So
I hope I answered the query.
Yeah, sure. Yes, sir. Our audience has got it, sir. So the next question is internship anyway helpful?
Obviously, yes, because I recommend rather over here that whenever you do internship, please do not pay anything. Rather, if they are giving stipend, then go for it. Otherwise, if they are saying that okay, you can work on freelancer basis or free basis, no problem. You can go and fetch the certificate. The important thing is that why I'm insisting in internship is that you will get real-time projects. Look, what happens? I'm a professor in a university. So I will teach you the concept, I will teach you the syntax, I will teach you the implementation part. But even if I give you the real-time problem, the students don't take it that seriously, right? But when you go into the industry and he will say, hey, I have this stock, tell me, give me the database where I can load this stock, and also I can fetch the items whenever I require. Please draft a software for me. So then you have to start thinking that, okay, this is the demand of the customer. And then you start framing the model for providing the solution. And this is what is called as real-time project. And if you get the training of such real-time project, it will be very handy for you all people. That's why internship is very important.
Yes, sir. So the next question is, the intensive which we are doing, it should be work from home or office. Which one you will suggest to take it?
Just give me a second. I will connect my charger. 1 second only.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you repeat your question, please?
Yes, sir. Sir, if the people, if the students are getting work from home intensive and office, so which one do the students should prefer to choose it?
Look, work from home is implemented due to this Corona and COVID-19. But I suggest you people to do visit the companies. It's okay about software people that they will get the problem definition and they have to keep on implementing it their laptops. But what about the core branch people? What about electrical people, civil people, mechanical people? They cannot afford to keep on creating prototypes and keep on submitting it. No, they have to physically go and implement it. So I rather recommend that you should go to the site, visit it, and get the real tinge of the green. So this is what is my suggestion. But yes, for the alternative, if we can't move out due to COVID-19, then work from home is okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, it seems like we have covered all the questions, and thank you for giving us your valuable time to Savitri Era.
It's my pleasure. Yeah. Actually, I was supposed to talk on 7, but then due to some unavoidable reason, I delivered my talk on 8. So excuse me for that.
Yes, sir. So
thank you very much. Have a nice time. Yeah.
Before we conclude, I would like to ask all the speakers if they wish to share anything with the audience.
So, guys, this is Mahesh Kumawat, and I am a cybersecurity expert.
Let me take the first bite, and then I will move for my dinner. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I want to tell all the young aspiring engineers or young aspiring researchers that whatever we are implementing or doing,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So, myself, could you please, it is
Yes, please.
going. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Vijay Gadija, sir, you can move.
Okay. Yes. I was talking about that the message to all young aspiring engineers and to the young researchers is that whatever the implementations we are doing, the learning curve we are going through, try to keep one thing in mind, that you are all doing this for the betterment of the society. And if you are working with this positive motto and by ethical way, believe me, success is waiting for you. Okay, because the supreme goal of the human life is to provide a better day to the society, the most pleasant and happier day to the society. This should be the motto of a engineer, of a researcher, and that's why we all people are doing automation. We all people are doing optimization. We all people are doing innovation to provide facility to the society, to provide better tomorrow to the society. Keep that thing in mind. That should be your sole purpose of the life. The money and the success will follow you. Thank you very much. This is my message to you all.
Thank you, sir. So sorry for the
I
interruption.
will. I want
sir.
to leave. Yes.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption, Mahesh sir. Sir, now I request you to take over the platform, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, yes. So you go. So you go ahead, sir. Now. So you go ahead, sir. Now.
So the conclusions are, my name is Mahesh Kumawat and I'm a cybersecurity expert. So I would like to recommend all the people which are, going to make their career into the cybersecurity. So we are going to provide some internships as well, programs in the cyber era. So if any questions regarding your career and about the jobs, or regarding that how you're going to make your career, how you make your certifications, what certifications you would like to go for it, and how which is your path for your future career aspect. So we're going to help you out each and every platform which you're going to working it out, and we are looking forward for your involvement sort of things, so that you are guys are working on the cyber security and make your career. And we also going to conduct some trainings like cloud computing, or also cloud security platforms, application security platforms, network security platforms. So if you guys are technical, they are working right now in the IT. So suppose they are working on the desktop support or network support or server support or any other in the support in the IT. So it's the right time to go for the cyber security platforms and go for internships, go for taking some knowledge on the security, so that your future will be more secure, and you will get a job in cyber security in the India and also outside. So if you are going to provide some trainings in future, and if you would like to make your career, so job prospects, so your number of fields will be open for you. So it's right now you guys are working on a specific platform like networks or desktops or servers, but once you join the cybersecurity, you guys are you're a part of each and every field, like networks, servers, applications, cloud security, so you can going to choose your career later on the specific the pay skills and your cybersecurity things like that. So bear with us, and then we will also provide some Google Drives on the different type of books available. We have our own YouTube channel as well. You will guys going to take some informations from them. So we are working professionals for the past 10 to 15 years, and we will going to provide you the support and help on each and every things for your future. So thank you very much. That's it from my end.
Yes, sir. So we have some few questions from the audience, sir.
Yes, if any questions, then welcome. Please ask me.
Yes, sir. So the first question is how to apply cybersecurity in internship and list of job in this category.
Yes, in the first of all, if you are working professional or if you are fresher, so if you are fresher, then you will have to require some internships as well. So in the internships, we will going to provide you some assignments, the projects, the real-time case scenarios. Suppose any companies you're working, then if any sort of cybercrime will be happen, then what's your response? What are the different benchmark for the security? How the foundations, how the experts working on the security platforms. So first thing is this for the freshers, or the guys are going to do internships. The second is, suppose you are experienced and you have 1 year, 3 years, 5 years experience, then you should go for the cybersecurity domain straight forward away. So you will have to go for some certifications as well as you would like to go for some knowledge bases. So we will going to help you out the cyber security like certified ethical hacking or CHFI trainings, networks things. So we have different domains of the cyber security. We will going to help you out each and every domain, and also we are going to provide you different cyber security trainings and also provide the help you the jobs. So as far as concerned about the job prospects, yes, cybersecurity have lots of jobs, the 2 million jobs in the India, and if you're talking about all over the global world, we have more than 5 million jobs available in all over the world. So once if you are expert in the cybersecurity, yes, you will get job anywhere in this world. And all the people, all the companies are required the person who is well experienced, exposed on the security side. So we will going to help you out in each and every things like that.
Sir, questions from Pritam Mukherjee. Sir, he's asking that what is the career opportunity Bachelor of Science degree.
Yes, career opportunities in the cyber security. Yes, guys, you would like to go for the security analyst job. You will have to go for some instant handler jobs. You will going to get some risk management jobs. You will get some different CTO jobs, CISO jobs, and different jobs available in the market right now. So you should work on the security operation centers. You should work on the network operation centers. So there are number of data centers in the companies, different companies, different domains. They're looking guys for the expert persons who are going to help you out each and everything like that. So don't worry about the job prospects. Don't worry about your future prospects. Yes, it is a good future prospects for your career, and it will going to help you out make your career in better way.
So the audience are requesting for if you provide the internship.
The internship, yes. If you are fresher, then the internship is required because you would like to go for some real-time case scenarios, my dear friends. Because the security, you ask me that why the internship required, because you don't have the real-time scenarios, you don't know about it. How the company, suppose any cybercrime will be happen, then what you're going to do it? What sort of analysis you're going to do it? What sort of what type of different type of cyber crimes will be there? So we have application attacks, we have some network attacks, we have some databases attacks. So different type of attacks, and what type of different type of solutions you're going to provide it. So this is all things you need to be work on the internships. We will going to provide some real-time case scenarios. We will provide you some projects on the same cybersecurity. So you guys on the work on the same.
Yes, sir. So Sunil Prajapati asking, and so regarding security application security testing.
Yes, the application testing. If you're talking about, so we the trainings, we're going to provide you some different type of tools and techniques and skills to work on the different type of applications.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I think that
welcome.
we have covered most of the questions. Well, it was a great opportunity to listen all the speaker. We all learned a lot from them, and I'm sure we all have taken a lot of knowledge with us. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate for your presence. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Have a great day and stay safe.